Hi guys, how we doing? Today we are here with Zack and Denise, who just pulled a 100 kilo deadlift at 58 years old. So,
Impressive.
Thank you.
so
Yeah.
first question is, what motivated you to start working out? Like, what clicked in your mind to say I gotta hit the gym?
Well, I had lost 25 kilos, and so I had a lot of skin on me. And everything I was reading said that that's what I needed to do. So I started kind of educating myself. I got a trainer when I moved to Accra in 2021. And I discovered I loved it.
Okay.
So I liked going for the PRs, and I loved all the newbie gains that you have when you first start lifting and working out. So I kind of got hooked.
Okay.
But I'm curious though, what was your perception, right, before you started lifting, and now that you got into weight training, has your perspective changed? What did you think about it before, and what do you view of it now?
I think I understand the health benefits of it as far as women, especially women that have gone through menopause, and what it means as far as growing older. I often laugh because people ask me all the time, we never see people your age in the gym here in Accra.
Yeah.
Why? What do you do? And I said, because I want to be able to get off of the toilet by myself when I'm 90 years old.
That's fact. That's fact.
That's
fact. Yeah.
What's funny, recently I started taking my mom to the gym. She's 65, right?
Oh, wow.
And she used to struggle to get out of bed. Like she has to hold things to kind of like get off the bed when she wakes up. And you know, we started strength training, a little bit of body weight squats, box squats. And now she's able to just get up and just carry on with her day. Significant improvement in the quality of her life. So absolutely, I'm with that, 100%.
I think all of our lives we're chasing a number on the scale. And I think as you kind of get older, that means a little bit less. You know, my saying is that strong is the new skinny. And
you got some really interesting talks though.
Yeah.
You got really interesting talk.
I have this company that I buy my workout t-shirts from called Old Lady Gains.
Yeah.
And so they're all, you know,
some captions, on there.
Lift more, age less.
That's so true though.
Strong is the new skinny. Kind of vintage, kind of savage. I've got lots of them, so I won't bore you with that.
So what are some of the benefits you've seen of like lifting weights? Like what have you seen, I would say physical wise first?
Body recomp.
Okay.
You know, you definitely start seeing the muscles fill out.
Okay.
And slimming down. I think that's probably the most. I think mobility is much better. I used to have a lot of restriction in my hips.
Okay.
I don't have that
It's opened
anymore.
up.
Yeah, definitely. And just being strong, you know.
Would you have wished you had started sooner?
Yeah, she started at 56. At 56.
I just said that to you on Friday.
She started at 56, and in 2 years, in 9 months, you pulled an 80 kilo deadlift, right?
Yeah.
It's massive progress.
That's massive progress.
I wish I would have done it. I grew up in a family. I mean, I was an athlete when I was younger, but there were many, many years I did nothing. But my father, he passed at 85, but he was a believer and went to the gym. And up till probably about 83, he went 3 days a week religiously.
Wow.
Always went, always played tennis, always played golf. My mom's 87. She'll be here in 2 weeks.
Oh, welcome.
So she's still traveling and fairly mobile.
Does she engage in regular activity?
She doesn't as much as she used to, and I wish she did. She took up Pilates for a while and did really well in Pilates, and she lives in a retirement community, so they have like strength classes and stuff. But she could do. I wish she would do some more.
So what we mean by lifting weights is she does deadlift, squats, pull down. Basically, she does like weightlifting. You understand? And well, a lot of people have this perception of like especially here in Ghana, I feel like lifting heavy is gonna get you bulky, and you've heard that a few times. And how do you relate to that?
I will never
Yeah.
live the life to be lean enough to get bulky. And hormonally, we really can't be bulky
Yeah.
as women.
Okay, go test.
Right.
Yeah.
So I
You
don't.
know, that's probably one of the most pervasive myths.
Yes.
Oh, if I lift weights, I'm gonna get bulky as a woman. When in reality,
Yeah.
it's like your physiology doesn't support that.
No.
Yeah.
And it takes like so much effort and work to even get remotely
Yeah.
bulky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I know that won't happen.
Yeah, because when they mean bulky, I think they mean more of like, they feel like they can look like me or Zack, or maybe like those bodybuilders on stage.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, it took so many years.
They have no idea,
So
right?
many years and so much diet planning and all of that
Yes.
to get to that stage.
Yes.
You don't just lift weight in just 1 week and feel like, I feel what the problem is actually. They go to the gym, they haven't worked out in a while, okay, or they haven't worked out before. So they go to the gym, they lift weights, they get a pump, okay,
And they think the
then
pump
they get,
is-
exactly, then they get inflamed, okay, they get, the muscles get inflamed, they get pumped up. They go home, they get this muscle sores, they feel like they're, because it retains much more water,
Right.
and they feel like they are bulky. But that is going to pass with time.
Or they see it on the scale.
Yeah, or they see it on the scale. Because when they lift weight, definitely get this carbohydrate. that
Yeah,
comes
what's
to
a
the
little bit of
water,
retention in
and
there?
then they feel like they're getting bulky. But I think you weren't lifting weight before, so your muscle was just
Dormant.
inactive.
Yeah.
Right.
It was dormant. So now, because you begin to lift weights, you begin to get that pump.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because before it was atrophy, and now because you're lifting weight, the muscle is much more active. But I feel like the body sees that, okay, now you're not using the muscle. So the body has a way of surviving, if I'm right.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would
Absolutely.
always make a balance, which is called homeostasis. Try always to find a balance within the body or a good working environment.
Right.
So at a point, they will realize, okay, you're not lifting weight as much. There's no resistance training. There's no stress on the muscle. So let me be able to preserve energy or preserve, whatever it's inside to be able to live
Right.
longer. You understand? Exactly. So
Yeah.
I believe that's one of the reasons why you feel,
I think also women are told though, lighter weights, more reps,
More cardio.
to tone. Yes, it's all cardio thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And what happens?
Oh, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose weight. I just want to do some cardio so I can drop weight. I think the whole perception is skewed. I don't know who sold those bag of goods, but it has been quite. What's your point of view on that?
Well, I mean, I think cardio is great for cardiovascular health,
Definitely.
Yeah.
but not
As
not
a
for getting
weight loss
stronger
strategy.
or anything like that. But you see people come in the gym and they're doing straight cardio. I mean, for me to make some improvement now, I need to add a little cardio because I'm not doing much. But for me, that's just going for a walk. And it's not because of my
Steady
age,
state
but I don't really need anything more than
Yeah.
just kind of a rapid walk. I don't need to kill myself 2 hours on a treadmill or elliptical.
Even those who do 2 hours on the treadmill are first way too much
Way too much.
because you would
The
people
catabolizer.
they get on the treadmill, they do like 2 hours, okay? They get tired, they go home, their body doesn't recover as much, okay? They come back the next day, do the same thing. It gets to a point in time, it becomes too much. You feel like this is too much, and you get tired, and you're not able to rest, and then you give up early. But if you're supposed to do steady state cardio, like you get on the treadmill, not do a speed that is, your body doesn't have to be uncomfortable. Neither it has to be comfortable. It has
Right.
to be in the perfect space where it's more balanced. At that point, you'll be able to be consistent, and you won't have too much stress in the body. Your CNS fatigue recovery will be better, and your accumulated fatigue will also drop significantly.
Right.
Therefore, you can go to the gym as often. But before that, though, Denise said just pulled a 100-kilo deadlift, okay? And just in case you guys don't know what a 100-kilo deadlift is, for someone who lives like us, 100 kilos deadlift is definitely a lot. That's basically 2 cement bags, and she lifted it off the ground. Easy. Okay, there was a bit of a struggle. Yeah, but how do you
Yes.
feel about that? That's a huge personal record.
It's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
Before, when I was lifting, I actually took a year off because my trainer moved, and so I'm relatively back new.
Yeah.
When I left training before, strength training, I was doing 80.
Yeah.
And then a short period of time to be able to do 100
Yeah.
feels really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't wait to see what's next.
That was a good quote. That was
Yeah.
That was definitely.
That's my favorite move, though.
Yeah.
I think when you really like a move,
Yeah.
You do
you
it more,
really get
yeah.
excited.
Yeah, but she had some tears of joy though.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, she did.
Oh,
She
wow.
did, yeah.
No, because I've seen the video, man, and maybe you'll insert the video in the clip.
Yeah, I would do
And
that.
man, she was really beasting out on that.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, one thing I would like to talk about is also, which Zack would like probably place emphasis on. It's not many people are educated here in Ghana in terms of HRT and how it affects the body and all of that. So, Zack, you probably are into that space.
Right.
Would you like to,
Elaborate on
Elaborate on
that.
it.
Awesome. That's a great one. So for starters, the average age of menopause in Ghana is 47 years old.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. What's it in the US?
I think it's a little higher.
It's a little higher.
Oh,
A little
wow.
higher.
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
That's early menopause. So it depends on how you look at it, right? Yeah. It just means that your window of fertility is a little shorter.
Yeah.
As compared to in the US, where maybe it's probably a little higher.
Yeah.
I also wonder if some of the birth control
Plays
is
a
a
role.
little bit more
Yeah.
readily available in the States than here. So maybe that would.
It definitely contributes, and
Yeah.
even the use of it is more unanimous in the States
Right.
than it is here.
I think also that when women go into perimenopause, they often don't know what it is. All of a sudden, they know that they're
Things are just
gaining
not the
weight.
same. Yeah.
There's brain fog. They're not
Mood
sleeping at
swings.
night. They lose their libido. They don't have any idea. So I don't think they define it as
Yeah.
perimenopause.
Yeah.
They just started feeling bad out of the blue.
Yeah, and they typically just attribute it to old age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or being tired with kids.
So you're saying that premenopausal, or it's at 47?
Yeah, the age of
Yeah.
menopause in Ghana averagely is at 47. So anywhere between, let's say, 45 and above is like that perimenopausal
Yeah.
period where the symptoms begin to creep in. So menopause, by definition, is when a woman's endocrine system, particularly in terms of hormones such as estrogen,
Yeah.
reaches a threshold that is almost insignificant to produce certain physiological effects. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so from mood regulation, cognitive acuity and clarity, energy, libido, and as such, we see some of these symptoms like the vaginal dryness,
Yeah.
hot flashes, and they are all related to that balance between estrogen and progesterone. So in a woman's body, you typically produce about 3 different types of estrogen.
Yeah.
Okay, and the predominant one, the E2 estradiol,
Yeah.
is the one that really carries forth most of their physiological functions. It's produced by the ovary,
Okay.
and unfortunately, around menopause, the quantity
Slows down.
So when it stops, and then it affects it.
it affects everything. It affects everything because remember that several cells in the body are under the influence of estrogen. So when that begins to set on, then it brings forth a whole host of physiological symptoms,
Yeah.
which can
Right.
be quite worrying and reduce like your quality of life. So with HRT, the goal is how do we replicate and optimize your current endocrinology in terms of your hormone balance to look like as though you were probably in your 40s or even 30s in your fertile years.
Yeah.
So that has to do with the sex hormones. So
Yeah.
testosterone,
Yeah.
estrogen, progesterone, and then we can also look at your thyroid function
Yeah.
and other GH and things of that nature if you really want to optimize for skin health, joint integrity,
Yeah.
and all those other peptides. So that's about HRT and estrogen replacement in a nutshell. Yeah.
So before that, you do HRT.
I currently do.
Yeah. How do you feel the difference before and after?
I first started on it when I was about 50, and I was feeling pretty rotten, really rotten. No energy, brain fog, weight gain.
Yeah.
And I went on it with progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone, and immediately felt better. Immediately felt better.
Testosterone was in the form of a gel.
My
an inject-
testosterone, what was it? Now it's sublingual.
Sublingual, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the US, they have access to different formulations of testosterone, which makes it that much easier to do HRT. Whereas in Ghana, the only forms that are available are typically the injectable forms.
Yeah.
So it's either going in the muscle or under the skin.
Many people are irritated or scared.
Exactly.
Yeah. If I was still in the States, I would probably have pellets.
Yeah.
I mean, but because I don't go home every 3 months, then I have to have something that's a little bit. So this was the option for it. I did go off of HRT for about 9 months, and it was pretty miserable. And I went back on it, and when they did my testing, I had depleted all my hormones. So it was 0 estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and thyroid. So got right back on it and feel good again. So
Right. And the challenge with that as well is when your hormones are so trashed, it also then literally predisposes you to the chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes and all that.
yes.
I believe many people also like to know if there are any side effects to HRT.
Right.
Because I believe it can be done long term. Probably lifetime.
Right.
So is there any side effects you have realized?
Okay, let's start with her anecdotally. What are some of the, let's say, adverse effects that you probably, unwanted effects? I mean, outside of you feeling great, did you notice anything that was probably a trade-off?
No.
You're just great. So her experience, right, will reflect the majority of people. The moment you get on HRT as a menopausal woman, it's night and day. You feel alive again.
Outrageous. You see instantly, like twice in a day or two.
No, it's probably a couple of weeks. But it's relatively quick.
Body adapting,
And it's balancing at the same time because, like for me, I'm not on just one. I'm on multiple ones, so it all has to balance out.
And that's how it's supposed to be done. So it's hormone replacement therapy, not just estrogen replacement therapy. So estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, DHEA, okay, all these things have to come in to really give a nice balance. And that's where you feel your best. Now, in terms of adverse effects or side effects, there are certain links between estrogen use and certain types of cancer. And we're having a discussion behind the scenes how her physician was telling her how much of that science was debunked.
Completely.
So it's in the medical literature to date, you'll find that they'll tell you things like oral contraceptive use and HRT predisposes to certain types of cancer in women, like endometrial cancer, cervical cancer, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, and things of that nature. But then again, these are weak correlations and causalities. They don't necessarily lead to that, if that makes sense. Otherwise, how would you explain all the incidents and people getting cancer who have never even had they've never had HRT, they've never used oral contraceptives, but they still get breast cancer. They still get cervical and endometrial cancer. Okay, so it's just one of those risk factors that's there, but I think the science on it is not too firm.
I believe the goal will be to actually seek a doctor's advice. How they self-tested.
Exactly. Look at the whole picture. What are your risk factors? Like, what's the chances of you getting such a diagnosis? Like, how can we optimize it and optimize your being without putting you at risk for anything else?
Because people are so ready to take like antibiotics, which has like a huge impact on the liver and
on your guts. It like literally destroys your natural bacteria,
immunity,
and everything, right?
But yet, and at the end of the day, you probably haven't researched into this, but you would have like so much benefits being on HRT, especially at a certain age. I don't think anybody wants to get to the age where you're already 50 and somebody has to wipe your ass.
Or you just feel like absolute dog crap, and it begs the question, what's the point? Because life is to be lived and
Yeah, to be
enjoyed.
lived.
Yeah.
Happy, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the point of living when it's like, not to sound too pessimistic and doomy, but where every day is a struggle to get through, you just don't feel too great. There's always
Brain fog and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'll tell you a kind of a funny story. On that period of time when I went off HRT,
Yeah.
I had gone in for my women's exam. And I was talking to the woman about what I was feeling and the whole sexual health part of it. And she says, 35-year-old woman says, it's just the way it is. Get used to it.
Right.
wow.
That's sad.
That's sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
That's sad,
Very sad.
that women are being told that.
Yeah.
And
Get
that
used
is the
to it.
majority of the women are being told that.
Exactly.
Because doctors don't get training in this, or doctors are predominantly male.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, they
They can't sympathize.
they don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think finding a doctor that can balance out the hormones is most important.
Absolutely.
And someone that has some education
Yeah.
in how to do it. Because there are a lot of people out there doing it willy-nilly,
yeah.
right, just writing scripts.
Yeah.
And that's not good
Yeah.
at all for HRT.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's good. So that brings us to the end of our video. I just want to say a big thank you to Denise and Zach for coming out.
Man, it's a
and getting
pleasure.
this video done. Just subscribe and make sure you watch and like the video, and also place your comments under. And if you have any questions you want to ask, more questions you want to ask about HRT, you can shoot up to Zach. Okay, and then I'll put his details down below, and then you can also contact him, know more details about HRT, have yourself tested, and know whether it should be on or it should be off. All right. All right. Thank you so much. All right. And take care.
maybe he'll be nice to us at the gym this week now.
That's it. All right.